Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2023 High-Tech Spring Leadership Summit. Here to kick off our program, from our host sponsor, Wells Fargo, please welcome Lisa Tuccio-King, Senior Vice President and Head of Technology Infrastructure Service Delivery.
Good afternoon. Okay, a little more excitement for me. Good afternoon. Excellent, that was a little bit better. So I see we've still got some folks that are getting checked in and coming into the room, but I want to be the first to welcome each and every one of you, for those that we have in the room, as well as attending our summit virtually, to the 2023 High-Tech Leadership Summit. So as you heard, my name is Lisa Tuccio-King, and I'm a technology leader at Wells Fargo. So we are first and foremost in my home state of California, and we are in the city where I spent the first 10 years of my career with Wells Fargo. So on behalf of myself and over 200,000 Wells Fargo employees, we are so excited to be the host sponsor for the Spring Summit. Wells Fargo and high-tech have a long-standing relationship that continues to grow and foster events like this one. As I mentioned, we have almost 400 people who will be joining us here in person, and many, many others who will be joining us virtually around the globe. For the next few days, we'll share and explore around this year's theme of technology and the power of connection. So I do have an ask of every one of you in the audience today. I promise I won't have too many of these, but we are going to start here. For the next day and a half, I'm going to ask you to listen. I'm going to ask you to be open to learning. I'm going to be asking you to be willing to meet new friends and embrace old friends. And I hope throughout all of that, you'll find time to have a little bit of fun with one another. So now it is my pleasure to introduce to you two members of our high-tech leadership team. First, Rosa Ramos-Quach and Miriam Hernandez-Quecal.
Okay.
Wow.
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 Bienvenidos. Welcome, familia, to, can you believe it, 2023, and we're all here together. So, here. Thank you so much to Wells Fargo for hosting us, and thank you all for, again, being here, whether you're here with us in person or virtually. It is great to be here. Qué placer. Qué placer. Oh my God. So, as is tradition, I'm going to start with a high-tech check-in. I am Rosa Ramos-Quach. I am Managing Director at JPMorgan Chase, and I am the very, very proud chair of the Board of Directors of high-tech. And I should have had a little merengue, right? Because I am Dominicana. Okay. This summit, again, is all about technology and the power of connection. For everything, there is a season. This is the season for our family, our familia. It is time for this familia to have lasting impact. We stand on the shoulders of those who founded high-tech, our founders, one of which is sitting right here with us today. They founded High-Tech. They founded High-Tech with much fervor, right? With that excitement. And they did that for all of us. And each of us have played some part in making High-Tech what it is today. Our founders started with a grassroots movement, right? To just an effort. And every single leader that we have had has molded and shaped High-Tech to what we see today. From an idea to this concept, then to this movement that we are part of all today. An organization who now has a full-time president, and what a president do we have in Omar. We have a full-time staff that makes all of these things possible for all of us. And what we are focusing on, our intent together, is to create an organization that is centered on operational excellence so that we can have that lasting impact, to make sure that we are scaling that way. And you have seen some of the outcomes of that focus. Have you checked out our website?
Yay!
Have you checked out our more modern branding? Pretty cool. We've had a data initiative. We have a CRM. We have marketing tools with Dynamics. We are continuing that evolution of High-Tech, focused on Hispanics and technology, and also much broader. We are focusing on Hispanics from the classroom to the boardroom. That is what we are doing. We continue to grow with a very ambitious and expanded mission. All of us need to be ready to scale and have that lasting impact, to feel that familia for generations to come. As Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you did or what you said. They will never forget how you made them feel. Can you feel the familia? We want that feeling of familia, of forward progress with lasting impact. As Latinos and Latinas, we have a very common value across all of the countries that we come from, and that is familia. And let's be real. Latino and Latina familias, they're not small. They're big families, right? Our familia está creciendo. We are growing, and we are always inclusive. Let's grow this pueblo. Let's grow this family. And speaking of family, I want to introduce my lovely, lovely, lovely vice chair. And our board as well, who's here today. But I love working with Miriam because working with you is like working with family.
Thank you, Rosa. So I have a few disclaimers before I do my check-in. One, I seem to have gotten congested on the plane yesterday, and I can't hear. My ears are stopped up. So if I start sneezing or coughing, please forgive me. And hopefully I won't do either up here on stage. Anyway, it's really an honor to be up on stage. This is our second time together, welcoming the High-Tech Familia to what appears to be a great spring summit. I was going to say summer, but it's not quite summer.
It's coming.
It's coming. My check-in. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Miriam Hernandez Keiko. I'm a retired KPMG partner. I sit on 3 corporate boards as an independent board director, and I'm lucky to be the vice chair of our board, working very closely with Rosa and the rest of a very dynamic board. And I happen to come from Guadalajara, Mexico. And for those of you who don't know, and how could you not know, it's the land of tequila and mariachis. So, 2 of my favorite things in the world, by the way. Has anybody been watching Eva Longaria's CNN, where she's touring Mexico. Wow, if you haven't seen it, it's awesome. Anyway, the lasting impact, let's get back to that Rosa spoke about, is so clearly captured in our mission and in our vision. I don't know if you've all read it. If you haven't, you need to. It's very ambitious. Our vision says that we want to accelerate the power and impact of Hispanic technology leaders, achieving lasting equity from the classroom to the boardroom. Imagine that.
We want that. We want that.
We had some debate on the board last year about whether this was too ambitious, whether we wanted this to be our high-tech moonshot. And we decided we did, because look at what we've done already and how fast we're growing. And as Rosa said, all on the shoulders of our founders who had an idea. We also have a very strong mission statement. And again, I urge all of you to take a look at this. I won't go through all the mission statement, but there's 3 priorities in it. And I think we represent these priorities very well in this room today. One of them is really expanding and growing our leadership capacity through access to a network of really top-level business leaders, political leaders, and people at the top of our economy, our global economy, because that's how we think you build the right network to get a seat at the table for all of us. The second is really to have culturally relevant programming, whether it's in leadership development or programs such as emerging executives and mentoring. We're all about mentoring. How many of you in the room have a mentor or have had a mentor during your time at High Tech? Awesome. And then really the third, which I kind of like the best, is all about making sure that all of us, and particularly all of you future leaders that are coming up and are going to take over our businesses, that we all have the courage and the commitment and the confidence to go after those ambitions that are going to help our community have that lasting impact.
Yes.
So we talked about operational advancements. We also have the best programming and the most robust programming
Absolutely.
we've had in many years. So I mentioned the Emerging Executive Program. We also have the Board Ready program. And just on these 2 alone, Omar is going to talk about the positive impact that they're having. I mean, he was telling us the statistics this morning. They're impressive, so wait till you hear them.
And let's hear it for the mentors.
Yes. But we've also, some of these operationals have really been, operational advancements that we've made have really been due to the help of many of our sponsor companies. And I'm going to just do a few shout outs, Rosa. Yeah. And those shout outs are not at all extensive or all inclusive. There's many more. But you know that website Rosa mentioned that if you haven't seen it, you need to go see? Thank you, JP Morgan Chase, for providing the team that worked closely with our staff to build it. And what was the precursor to that was doing a huge data program to be able to get rid of all those spreadsheets and contact sheets and really build a master data model that would allow us to constantly be reaching out to our membership and send out the right kind of messages. And that was KPMG did that. And then that gave us the possibility of implementing a system that could use all this data, and that was Microsoft, who helped us get Microsoft Dynamics in the house. And then we needed people to implement Dynamics, and thank you, Capital One, for funding the leadership that's implementing it. And I can't go by without saying thank you to Nellie and Accenture, too, for all the years of the women's breakfast, for all of the research that Accenture has done together with with high tech that have led to some of the programming that you see. And Bank of America, really the generosity that Bank of America has shown to our scholars in the High Tech Foundation Scholar Program, giving them laptops, getting them ready with tools and mentoring for their college journey. Those are just a few. Not to mention all of you being invested in, and your companies who put you forward for programs and who give us the mentors to be able to do all this programming. So lots of stuff, which goes to my key point, which is we can't do this alone. We're powerful. Omar and his staff are incredible and very effective. I don't think they sleep at night, which is another topic, but they're really great. Our board, strongest board we've had, really great people that I am happy to call my friends. But we need all of us, and we need these allied organizations in our community like Alpha, like Latitude, like Latino Corporate Directors, like Angeles Investors, like Conectado. We need these organizations, and we need to work closely, because guess what? They also believe that we need lasting impact and lasting equity from the classroom to the boardroom. And that's how we're going to achieve this. All of us together in this room, in this movement Rosa mentioned, really committed, really connected, and really courageous so that we can accomplish this.
Are you with us?
Are you guys with us? To lead this charge, we are going to call up our good friend, first and foremost, our president, and the guy who's going to make all this happen with all of us, Omar Duque.
Omar.
Thank you so much for your leadership, Rosa and Miriam. So as we kick this off, I'm going to ask for all of you, if you're excited to be in the room, I want to hear you make some noise. That was better than I was expecting, but I think we can do even better. But this time, I want you to make noise so that the more than 700 people who are registered to participate with us virtually can feel the power and the energy in this room. Let's hear it. Let's make some noise. I absolutely love the energy that is here today. I love the feel of a full room. But none of this would be possible were it not for the incredible generosity and support of our host, Wells Fargo. So please give it up for Wells Fargo. Rosa, Miriam, thank you so much for those kind words, and thank you for your leadership. I am so excited for where we are in this journey as an organization. We are, for all intents and purposes, we continue to be a young organization. We were founded in 2006, really 2007, and look at this trajectory, look at this growth. And I get so excited about where we are because I know that what is yet to come is going to be even better. But in order to do that, we need to make sure that we have, as Rosa and Miriam were talking, that operational excellence. And I'm so confident in the team that we have. They are the right team at the right time to continue to build this organization. And let me tell you about what I see for the future. We are growing, and we are growing at an exciting pace. I want to see a show of hands, even though this light is bright here. Who is here for the very first time, your very first High Tech Summit? Look at that. So looking at the registration, I want to say somewhere between 45 and 48% of our attendees that are registered are first-time high-tech attendees. And that's an incredible number because that really speaks to the way that our organization is growing, right? Normally we host this in our corporate partners location. We couldn't do that this time around because this crowd is too big. And we had people on a wait list, but you guys are in the room, you are here. And I wanna challenge every single person who's here, whether this is your first High-Tech Summit or if it's your 12th High-Tech Summit. Take the time to be present, as Lisa said, be present. Commit to learning something new, but more importantly, commit to meeting somebody new, right? I loved being around yesterday as all the people who have been here before and the camaraderie and the friendship. That's amazing. That's why we are a high-tech familia. But we got some new additions to the familia today. Our familia is growing. And as you know, in Latino households, everybody is welcome. And I think there's nothing more beautiful than to see this family grow, to watch our family grow. And so take the time to make meaningful connections, not just exchange a business card, not just connect on LinkedIn, but do that. But take the time to have a meaningful interaction, to learn something about somebody else who's here, to learn how you can contribute, how you can help them. Because at the end of the day, high tech is not about one particular person. It's not about me. It's not about our board chair. It's not about any particular personality. It's not this impressive list of 72 corporate partners that we have. High tech is about community, is about familia, and it's about every single one of you. And that is something incredibly powerful if we take action on it. We are here for 2 days, today and tomorrow, and then we have some sessions for the Emerging Executive Program on Thursday. Take what you learn here, take this energy, take this just connectivity and contagious energy and take it back. Take it back to your place of work. Take it back to your team. Take it back to your ERGs. Take it back to your own family. And go back and say, you know what? I went to this event where, for the first time, perhaps, I wasn't the only one in the room. There are other Latinos who have achieved success in technology. They can do it. I can do it, you can do it, let's do it together. That is what high tech is, and that is what I want every single person, when you leave here, wherever home is, take that energy and do something with it. That's how we create lasting impact. That's how we create impact in every city and every community across the United States. And I'm just excited because we continue to grow. This year's EEP program, as Miriam was talking, 114 fellows, the largest class of EEP that we have ever had. That means also 114 mentors, right, who dedicate their time to help. And that's what I'm talking about, right? That's our formal mentoring program, but we don't need to do this in a formal way. You can mentor somebody, you can coach somebody, you can sponsor somebody within your organization to advance, because that's what it's going to take to create lasting impact. Miriam mentioned the Board Ready program. We have 60 people that are going through this program. We formalized the program in 2020. More than 85 people have gone through the program. On average, the people who've gone through the program have attained 1.5 board seats as a result of their participation in this program. Think about that, right? And as we grow, we're going to continue to build on that success. You're going to hear in a little bit this afternoon about the great things that are happening at the High Tech Foundation. We have some foundation scholars that are with us today. Get to know them, meet them, see how you can help them, see if you can plug them in for an internship at your company. This is the power of this room. Let's not lose the fact that we can take the energy here and take it to our companies, our communities, our families, and do good and help others. I am so excited. We have a great program, but I look forward to being able to connect with as many people as possible. I welcome all of you to connect with me on LinkedIn if we're not already connected. And then also, I want to make sure that everybody who is joining us virtually also feels connected. And so everybody who is on virtually, please, take advantage of that chat, connect with people online, and we can't wait to see you in person at the next HITEC event. So with that, welcome, bienvenidos. Thank you very, very much. Adelante.
Tali Bray, Executive Vice President, Technology, Diversity, Community, and Sustainability from Wells Fargo.
I'm going to be nicely framed. So, welcome. We are so excited and honored to be hosting the 2023 HITEC Spring Leadership Summit. The San Francisco Bay Area welcomes you, also my hometown, and dozens of our Wells Fargo employees from across the country are here this week to ensure you feel at home. Wells Fargo is proud of our longstanding relationship with HITEC. And I'm going to start by sharing one of the things we're most proud about, and it lays context for this conversation. One of the most impactful things we've been able to execute on in partnership with HITEC and the Latino Donor Collaborative is the annual Latinos in Tech report, which tells us something we know. There is nothing but opportunity for Hispanic Latinos in tech. Said another way, this incredible cohort is egregiously underrepresented, and that's part of why we're here today. To this end, one of the initiatives we are most proud of in our Diverse Leadership Immersion program is an 8-month program in partnership with HITEC, where we facilitate and manage a skills development, community strengthening experience for Hispanic Black community that allows cultural competencies specifically for these communities to be developed. And when we do this, we leverage everyone's background with what we inherently know. Our identity is our strength. Our identities shape a keen sense of belonging when the community we are in welcomes us. And I want to start by saying why it's important for me personally, not just in the context of my professional role, to be here today. I have the privilege of serving as Executive Vice President of Wells Fargo Technology, Diversity, Community, and Sustainability Organization. I lead a global team that focuses on people strategy, cultural transformation, and sustainability. And core to this are outcomes driving employee representation and engagement, community investment, future of work, and location strategies that converge to prioritize talent-rich markets with a focus on sustainability practices that support Wells Fargo's ESG goals. But like for many of us, this is not where I started. You've heard about the importance of sponsorship and mentorship today. I found my place in technology 30 years ago, at a time where there weren't a lot of women, weren't people of color, really anyone other than cisgendered, heterosexual, neurotypical white men, some of whom are my best friends. But I convinced someone to take a chance on me. And I've translated that into a 30-year career. But without that first sponsor, it would have been a very different path for me. So the commitment to mentorship and sponsorship in this room is imperative. That is what allows us to truly improve representation. And we've talked about this before. It warrants restating, particularly for those of us in technology who have been told it is a meritocracy. Meritocracy with conditions isn't really a meritocracy. There are still far too many barriers, too much friction in accessing technology roles. And this has to change, and through a number of external partnerships with key organizations like HITEC, this is changing. We are committed to making that happen. And I know from personal experience that aptitude, a desire to learn, and basic communication can be the entry point into this field. And the reality is that the shelf life of any given technology is rapidly decreasing, so everyone is constantly learning, but not everyone has the opportunity to apply what they've learned. Part of creating meaningful employment is building a more inclusive recruiting model, and that removes bias and barriers for potential employees during the interview and selection process. For us, this includes traditional early talent models with HSIs, HBCUs, and university recruiting. It also includes non-traditional models with organizations promoting talent with non-traditional, non-degreed backgrounds, like 110, Year Up, and then professional networks like HITECH, ITSMF, NCWIT, Lesbians Who Tech, and others who center diverse segments. This also includes something we're very proud of within our organization, cohort models like enterprise neurodiversity, workforce reentry programs, and veterans hiring, where we create meaningful employment opportunities for deeply underserved communities through comprehensive programs that center lived experience across diverse segments, which historically have lacked access to employment opportunities and, as importantly, effective support and mentoring once they are employed. According to the Stanford 2022 State of Latino Entrepreneurs Report, Hispanic-owned businesses are growing at a faster rate than the national average, growing 34% over the past 10 years, compared to 1% for all other small businesses. So what does this mean? It means the founders and consumers of those businesses not only represent Latinos who come from multiple continents, but they represent Latinos who are also queer, Latinos who identify as having disabilities, Latinos who are veterans, Latinos who are Black. No group is monolithic. We need to see the totality of people and serve the whole. Latinos are everywhere, and Latinos are also everything. We need to keep that in mind as organizations that center Hispanic and Latino talent and leadership focus on developing this talent. This is strategically important to us. And that's why it's so important to be in this room with all of you, because this room is filled with the best and the brightest technologists, professionals, and entrepreneurs, the very people who will catalyze this industry's economy to thrive into a future that includes more of you in the room. And now I want to talk specifically for a moment to the entrepreneurs, the solopreneurs, and small business owners in the room. I think many of you know that approximately 50% of all Americans are employed by small business, and 99% of American businesses are small business. So in November 22, Wells Fargo launched a website dedicated to supporting diverse business owners and entrepreneurs. The site was created after conducting extensive research through in-depth interviews to better understand the unique needs of small business customers and prospects. This was a critical step in order to deliver the topics most important and provide the right support we need to thrive, rather than what people thought may be necessary to thrive. And in January 22, Wells Fargo collaborated with Community Reinvestment Fund to launch the Small Business Resource Navigator, an online portal that enables Wells Fargo bankers to help introduce small business owners to potential financing options and technical business assistance through community development financial institutions, CDFIs. Since its launch, the Small Business Resource Navigator has connected nearly 1,300 small businesses to potential credit opportunities and technical assistance provided by CDFIs. Since 2015, Wells Fargo has provided more than $500 million in philanthropic grants and investments to CDFIs that help underserved small businesses. And we all know that the key to starting a small business is access to capital. We also know that our customers, just like our technology, are fundamentally changing all of the time, which means the creators of our products and services need to change. Effective creators must fundamentally know, the communities for whom they are creating. This means technology organizations need to look like our consumers, who are increasingly diverse. Lived experience matters for effective product design. Diversity in people leads to diversity in ideas. The data is unambiguous. Diverse organizations outperform non-diverse organizations on every dimension. Diversity in people leads to diversity in ideas that fuel innovation and transformation. All of these partnerships, these events remind us of something we all have: the power of voice. The voices in this room, when united, can lead to change. We are all co-conspirators in the work of representation, inclusion, and mobility. And I am so honored that Wells Fargo is part of this chorus of voices. I wish you all an incredible 2 days, and we are thrilled to be here with you. Thank you.